Everybody in the whole wide world really just needs to chill.
All right, well, let's get to Sebby. We'll blast through these then.
It's okay. I'm sorry. I just
Kenny.
Not even.
Kenny's a music aficionado. I don't think people realize how big a role music plays in KVS. I want to hear about some of the background there. Season to season, there's like a psychedelic season. There's the Celtic Frost inspiration behind the KVS theme song. Let's do a deep dive on that shit.
Yeah, I have thousands of records. In fact, Sebastian's father was my best friend, and he kind of I was always into music, but he's the guy that I would smoke pounds of weed with and listen to, like, you know, Mahler and you know, Ligeti and Pierre Henry and like the craziest, most insane music. And so I kind of built my doctorate in a very eclectic music taste. And my favorite songs, like the opening panels of the show, I kind of emulated those songs and put them into the episode. So, you know, it's very Kubrickian. And I thought that having, you know, something as stupid as, you know, Spenny trying to eat cat food against, you know, Wagner's, you know, Seventh, was just increase the epic, you know, ridiculousness of you know,
the absurdity
of the show. So yeah, I have a lot of records, and I really listen to a lot of fucking music.
And you had a lot of input on the soundtrack for KVS. So.
I did everything, of course. Nobody had any input but me, really. Yeah,
input.
You know, me and Sebby really were the only people that actually did anything. Spenny, I say, was like filming Mutual of Omaha, like you know, Earth, where we would just film him, you know, reacting to being, you know, beaten up by you know, Leathermen or sucking off trannies or whatever, or doing acid. You know, we had to come up with all of the stuff that we had to come up with and do. But yeah, in terms of music and all that, I basically did all that stuff.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to number 2. We'll keep it rolling.
We used to send fatter edits into the broadcaster. Kenny would leave in some of the craziest shit, knowing that it was going to get kibosh, but with the strategy to use those as bargaining chips to keep other content in. Because I think they were like, well, we want these 3 things out. And it's like, well, I'll take these 2 things out and keep that. But I also know some of those crazy moments made it through. And Kenny being like, I have no idea how they didn't flag that. Like, no notes in that episode or whatever. What were some of those moments? What made it through that shocked Kenny? And what didn't make it through that the world has never seen?
Basically, almost everything made it through. There was really only one thing that really offended them so much. But yeah, almost everything made it through, and I was really good at manipulating their you know, notes, which were you know, pretty shitty mostly. You know, it's like I've seen every fucking Tarkovsky movie. Don't tell me about, like, you know, the viewers not getting this idea across in this. Okay, fine. I'll see if there's another way that I said it, even though there isn't. But yeah, they were just trying to put their finger on it. But executives always basically ruin everything you have. You know,
Damn.
So there are instances, and we did have some good executives that did help us. And it's hard to differentiate between an idea getting across in your brain and it relating to the audience. So sometimes they're like, oh yeah, okay, good. They forgot that was this, so I just put in something to remind them that was that, or whatever. But in the end, if they ever wanted anything, I would just say, fuck you, I'm an artist. I'm making these choices because the government of Canada funds your art, and I'm an artist, and it's their job to show my art, not their job to tell me how to make it.
Yeah.
So I kind of just, from the very early on, just didn't take any shit or listen to anybody, and it kind of worked.
Hey, you blazed your own trail.
Yeah, I blazed my own trail, and it's just really a test to see, can I do this? And yeah, nobody ever really bugged me.
Well,
and it wasn't Spenny. I did all of that. I went to the broadcaster. I was the guy that fought with him when the transvestite, when I showed her penis.
Yeah.
They said, you can't do that. I said, fuck you. you guys are homophobic, and that is totally racist. And as I'm showing it, fuck you, you blur it. I'm not blurring it on my master. And they showed it. They said you cannot smoke weed on television, film, like, oh, you can only show like afterwards, like smoke coming out something.
Yeah.
And Sebby and I said, you know what, fuck it, let's film it. And
you did a PSA.
initially, like an idiot, I was like, yeah, oh shit, I can't believe we can't film it. And a second later, we're like, oh, of course we're going to fucking film it. And we filmed it and all made it in.
Nice.
We might have been the first guys to smoke weed on TV. In
I
Canada,
think so,
I don't know.
On CBC? Or no, it was Showcase.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. And the first guys to drink beer when we did Who Could Drink More Beer. They weren't even, they were putting beers up to people's lips in American beer commercials and not drinking
Just
it.
feigning it, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I did the first intervention that probably started intervention, you know, Spenny being wasted. I bring in the intervention. This is years before intervention. You know, so.
TLC,
And I also heard a lot of people said, well, Kenny and Spenny did that. And they're like, well, you can't do that. So, but we got lucky. But, you know, that came from Tom Green doing things that weren't necessarily crass, but absurd and didn't really make sense to people.
Just bizarre, yeah.
Just was bizarre enough so that a broadcaster wouldn't understand that, but he was still allowed to show it.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas we were gross, he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't as depraved, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was more depraved because it was so...
But it wasn't as obvious.
Such a psychotic,
Yeah.
Absurd, you know, mess
Yeah.
that worked.
It looked like an insane
Yeah,
person
it was
who-
insane.
Yeah.
We were just, you know, gross and crazy, and we were just kind of dicks.
Different vibes for
Different
sure.
vibe, yeah.
Okay, well, the third question from Sebby, actually, I'm very curious about because I didn't know this was a thing.
All right. The Lost Bobby film. Where's that at? Will we ever see this masterpiece? I want to hear about this.
I don't know what the last Bobby film is.
The Lost Bobby film?
Oh, Lost Bobby
yeah,
film.
he seems to think...
Oh, there was a movie that Spenny kind of made. Spenny would make these movies. In fact, I would go out and make them for him because he didn't know how to he didn't do any technical anything. And I don't know, he made one about Bobby being a loser and looking for potato chips and playing lottery tickets. I don't know if that
Does anybody have this footage?
Nah, it wasn't that great.
Oh, right.
Like,
well.
Spenny thinks Bobby is way more better than he is, and I do love Bobby, but I have to move on.
Okay.
Even though if I did win $1 billion, I would probably give him like $1 million and film him just like, you know, being a bloated dead corpse like in Macau.
This could not be a better segue to Bobby's question.
Hey, Kenny, Uncle Bobby here. Hope you're doing okay. I'm doing good myself. Thank you. Quick question for you. You're basically about the same weight you were in high school. What's your secret? And is there any hope for someone like me who struggles with weight? Thank you very much.
He doesn't struggle with weight. He's always been a fat piece of shit. And I'm so fat. Honestly, I got to do something. I've always been pretty skinny, but honestly, with the kids and just being at home for 2 years, eating their peanut butter crusts and like not being able to run to supermarkets. This was from last year, but and then you know just enjoying life. Like honestly, like you know, finally after being you know destitute, you know, screwing ugly Jewish broads in L.A. So for a fucking Carl's Jr. You know, my joy, I love food. I enjoy eating food. Now I have the money to eat food. Like, why do I have to look fucking skinny? I'm going to be 60 soon. Like, I'm basically, Spenny's already 60. This year, I think. I'm going to be 55. Like, can I enjoy my fucking life? And,
at some point,
eat
just
fucking
fuck it.
foie gras and gummy bears, even though I don't. And I eat very healthy. I don't eat any really fried shit or,
But do you exercise?
or sugar. Well, exercise. No, I don't like exercise, but I walk a lot and I have kids, you know, so you're fucking, you know, Roomba, you're tiding all the time.
Definitely
My
running
little
around.
Pockets look like fucking
And you well, we were talking about how you
garbage
have
bags.
dogs too before we
I got
started.
dogs. Yeah. I've always, you know, I'm not stupid enough to like exercise like an idiot, like on a Peloton. Like who wants a fucking Peloton? But you know, I walk. You know, I don't park next to the fucking door. I can walk. I like walking. I walked 3 kilometers to a restaurant yesterday in Montreal.
Nice.
Yeah, and I had a reservation for it online. It's a super expensive restaurant because I'm away, and I'm making some cash on tour, and I like to spend my
You're
I like
into
to spend my
fine
money.
cuisine, though.
I'm into
Yeah.
not even fine cuisine. I had 2 Schwartz's sandwich yesterday in the same fucking day. And I had one at 10 a.m. and then I had one at 11 o'clock at night. 2 fatty pastrami sandwiches because there's no pastrami in Toronto, and I'm a Jew. So, but I like took me like a week to at least find one amazing restaurant to go to in Montreal and make a reservation. I'm like, you know what? I'm fat. I'm gonna eat fucking 3,000 calories, like who knows what, lizard tail and rillette, and have a few glasses of rosé. I walk up to this fucking restaurant, it's closed,
Oh
and
shit!
I'm stuck. And
Why would they accept your reservation?
I don't know. Well, who's closed on Saturday night?
Yeah, really.
Like, we haven't been able to work or pay our bills for 2 years, and
Saturday, yeah.
and like, okay, so why you close Saturday night? Everyone's complaining that their business is going under. Like, if I had a fucking restaurant, which I do, luckily, even though I'm just a silent partner, just be open all the time.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, like who cares?
Maybe they don't have the staff.
I don't know. No one has the staff.
That
No one
seems
has
to be
the
the
staff
thing
in the
right
world
now.
anymore.
Yeah, it's the big quit or whatever.
Well, you have the staff Saturday night, and you have
Yeah.
the staff if you're making $200-$400 on tips every night. Then you have the staff. You don't have the staff if you're working in Couche-Tard at fucking 3 a.m.
Yeah, you gotta promote properly, I guess, is the real deal.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone's fucked. This is so crazy. It's such a weird evolution.
It's surreal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.